Babies.
Welcome to episode 6 of Sunrunners, our dark matter D&D 5e interactive charity stream where we're playing in space.
Indian
Space.
space.
And last session we actually were able to repair the RSV Banneker to operating status. So we're gonna pick up where we left off. In the debriefing room with the captain and our wonderful heroes, Beats, Adriadne, Quinn, Elias, oh, almost got it, and Hades are in the room with the captain, and the captain is ready to. Um, so the captain is sitting at the head of this large oval table. Is sitting in this little hover chair. It's got no wheels on it. It's just got this little thing that kind of like you could turn it and move it around, and it kind of hovers above the floor of the room. Kind of leans back. I've read your reports and commend you for your efforts in repairing the Banneker and bringing it back online. We would have lost many more lives had you not taken the actions that you did, and this ship owes you all a great debt of gratitude. Do you have anything that you would like to add to your reports?
Oh boy, do we.
Well,
Start.
the planet we just came from shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I believe it was Coralia was the name of the planet, which, if we're not mistaken, Captain, we were doing some work, and we actually think that the planet was supposed to be gone, as in like decimated and shouldn't be here anymore. But it is here, and it's actually right there. And I'll point out the window.
Yes, there is a
I'm
big giant
reversed.
window.
Yeah, hang on, I gotta move. I gotta figure out. Okay, here we go. This right here. This is where it is. And it seems like it was abandoned.
Yeah, something really weird happened down there. There's all sorts of technology from different times. We found this journal and it's got all sorts of different dates on it. Found VHS tapes. Have you ever seen one of those?
I've heard of them. Yes, they have magnetic ribbons.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard of VHS. You said the planet's name. You deduced that this is Coralia.
Yes,
I think so.
it matched the star charts and everything.
That is interesting news. Coralia did collapse in on itself a long time ago.
Well, it didn't collapse on itself. It was definitely attacked. On the surface, we didn't see
Oh,
any
yeah, there was a bunch of
explosions.
plasma
Yeah, it was
burns
plasma
and
damage
weapons.
from
Yeah.
above.
There's no record of that in our data log, and she pushes a little button, and you can see this holographic, almost like data entry, and she kind of, computer, please research Coralia, and it pulls up a little date, and it says yes, it says as of yes, the only records we have is that the planet imploded in on itself, almost 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, history's never wrong.
The only record we have. There's no record beyond that. So I believe you. If you saw evidence of bombardment, that how does
I will pull up on my Omni tool and I will send it to the main, like the bigger hologram,
okay?
and show her the image of that creature that was, or whatever that organic ship that was fired down upon.
Okay, so the
The
CCTV.
circuit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the CCTV video.
video.
I'm going to run this through our database and see if we can find any match for these ships.
Yeah, and I will send like the actual video of what we copied, not just a frame picture, but yeah.
Did you happen to have any other evidence besides this closed caption video?
No, we saw some mutated creatures down there, but we didn't have enough time to investigate that. So we don't know if it was caused from the plasma damage or just over time having no other life, they just mutated.
Well, you got a a sample, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that is right. Yeah, no, I did get.
Because you were gonna get to take a scan of it, and you ended up just taking a sample.
Yeah. I produced like the jar.
Oh, the little vial, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little vial.
And is this DNA from the species that you can't identify?
Yes. We ran into two types: these mutated creatures and some type of primitive apish type creature, very feral, not very intelligent.
Interesting. She's gonna take the vial, and there's always these little screw tops on these things, right? So she screws off the lid and she kind of dumps it upside down into the computer and locks it in. Computer, please process this DNA. And you don't hear a voice, but you hear this kind of scanning sound as it's processing. This goop kind of drips in, and it kind of like begins to process.
It seemed there were probably more of those. We only encountered, what, 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, something
We
like
encountered
that.
3. We don't know if at the power plant, because they had the ability to absorb the crystal, the lithium crystals, the power from it, and heal themselves with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's an
Yeah.
And
I think one of you
sadly,
shot it, and it bit the crystal.
Yeah, it sucked on it like a pacifier, and it healed its
Yeah.
wounds.
It was weird.
that is a rare ability among species that might help narrow it down. Not very many
Yeah.
species that can feed off of magical power.
Also, we
s-
accidentally took all of their power and then broke the city because it was like holding up some weird tectonic stuff, and now it's all in lava, I think.
They were
Yeah.
Did we
using the,
collapse the?
Did we do it?
yeah,
Or
I think
Yeah,
we
we
called
did.
it the
Do the
load-bearing
collapsing?
crystal.
the low-bearing
the load-bearing
Were there any civilians or casualties from this?
Not that
We
we know
found
of.
one bone dude in a locker.
Yes, they had
So-
bled to death. They got wounded and bled to death in a locker.
Okay, so this was a long time before this wasn't caused by us.
No.
No.
The only
Uh,
the only casualties that were taken were the mutated creatures that attacked us.
And
yes,
maybe
and
that muppy if it was
sadly,
still
one of them was
napping.
Elias' sister.
What?
Really? There was an Avian
What?
Ra on this
Yeah.
planet?
No. What? Where did this come from? I heard you making a comment about that before. What?
What? Well, but Quinn said it was your sister. I just assumed that.
I am gonna make a will save.
Quinn was making a joke.
Not laugh my ass off. Oh, thank God, I got an natural 20.
Oh, good job, bud.
You're able to stifle that laughter. Well, jokes aside, there were no sentient casualties. No.
I mean, anything living on
No
the planet.
civilians.
If that's what. I mean, if we were responsible for the implosion of the planet, then anything on the planet's
Well,
going to be gone.
The planet is still there. So if
No,
this
we-
is
yeah.
Corelia, I'm not sure that it has collapsed yet. That's quite confusing. Although
I think it might have just been that area, is my guess. Because there was this bridge that went over this big, like, lava river. So I
Perhaps
think that
just
they
the
built
area
it somewhere
itself.
that was not, like, tectonically sound, but
Yeah,
they
I think-
made it technonically sound, and then we
bel-
took the load-bearing crystal.
I believe it didn't, like, this whole entire city didn't fall on itself. It was more of a new fissure was created.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to make it down there and to retrieve the items that we needed and make it back in one piece. As she finishes saying that up, you hear the bing, and she looks at the screen and, oh, that's very unusual. The DNA that you've provided, it does not show up in our system, but it has various bits of, there are strings of human DNA and elven DNA and dwarven DNA, some nautiloid DNA, along with this DNA that does not match our system. This was definitely some sort of genetic.
They did look like
Ex-
amalgamations of other creatures.
It was like a
Very
Frankenstein's
disturbing.
monster.
One
There
of
are
them,
laws against this kind of thing amongst the coalition.
Well, we don't know if it happened on purpose or an accident. But maybe we could go down to the planet and look around, maybe. Like, we could go back.
Well, we have successfully repaired the ship to working order. Everything is back up and running. So, the only issue that we seem to be having is with navigation. Over at Elias. Elias, your star charts have been brought up and examined, and the star charts in our system on board the RSV Banneker do not match up with where we're currently residing. We've been able to deduce that we are currently in the Poseidon system.
Isn't that where
on the positions of the stars and the constellations that we have been able to match using rudimentary navigation techniques, we've been able to determine that we are in fact in the Poseidon system. But the star charts that we have on board our system are thousands of light years off. Stars appear closer together than they should.
Yeah, that was weird because there was some time wibbly wobbly stuff on the planet.
Yeah, there was a lot of more our current time devices, and then devices on Earth that would have probably been maybe half a century old.
Well, perhaps this jump through the mall caused more than we initially. Yes, perhaps we are. Elias.
Travel.
Yes.
How confident are you that you could chart us a course back to the Sol system?
Let me look at the maps.
Absolutely. Kind of slides this holographic interactive thing over to you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna open it up and kind of do some like top-heavy math. And does it seem?
As you're manipulating the map, you notice that it's kind of like having a map without a scale, like without an accurate scale, because you've determined that you're in the Poseidon system and you can see certain star constellations and you kind of navigate based on your recollection of where the network systems should be. Your interaction with this map indicates that, in fact, the stars in the map and the routes in the map are spread out at a different scale than what you're currently looking out the window. So it's like having a map in front of you, but there's no accurate scalings.
Okay.
Ooh, well, I bet you could figure out the ratio and difference.
We're this far.
I mean,
and then just apply it to the map, and then it'll all.
I mean, it's possible. Is that something that I can try and figure out?
You would be able to try and figure out, but you would be doing it with disadvantage because you're not using the tools that you have and using the local thing that you can see. You would be able to kind of assume, but you would be navigating at disadvantage because you don't have the accurate scale on the star chart.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you're more than welcome to attempt to do that, but you're doing it at disadvantage because you have all that accurate math in front of you.
Let me see if I could maybe try and do it.
I wonder, could I?
Well, what is it? You know that thing that you can do where you can like look at kind of like a 2D picture and figure out how far away something is from the lens, like triangulation or something? Could he do that? So he could like look at the stars that we have out the window and be like, okay, these are here. And then take the map with the very exact math and be like, okay, these are here. And then via math, do the like, we're here, and these are over here. And so they've moved this much. And so because I know they've moved this much, I can try moving everything on the map this much and have the computer re-render it and then navigate that way.
You could certainly attempt to do that. You would know that you would be doing it with disadvantage because everything in space moves proportionately away from each other at an exponential rate. So if you have one point of reference, you could move that as your point of reference. But if you were to line up a star chart and you lined up one dot, it would seem like that's the center of the universe. But if you move it to another dot, everything kind of, because everything's moving equally distant from each other, there's no relative dimensions to kind of calculate.
Do we have the distance between the star and the planet that was supposed to be Corellia in the correct, like the old way?
No, all your star charts are off. So what you're looking at in the solar system, that you can see the constellations, you can see, like, you can make out, okay, this constellation means that we're kind of in this mission, like the old way of navigating ships on the sea, right? You could kind of tell where you're at by looking at the constellations.
Can I just dig through some files and see if we have an old star chart?
Sure, you can definitely do that.
I want to do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation.
You know what I should probably do? Open my character sheet. That's probably a really good idea.
Just make it up.
You got a plus
Definitely.
25.
I was gonna say, definitely proficient.
I got an 18.
Okay, so you're kind of going through the files, and you do find not a file that you can plug in and use, but you find something that's about 200 years old.
Guys!
We're the oldest people in the universe.
Guys, I found a map for like 200 years ago that matches this. What the heck? What the heck, guys?
Does the map match?
No,
at all?
it doesn't actually. It's another one of those things where, like, 200
It's
years
also
ago,
off.
the stars were off in this direction, but the universe has since expanded, so everything's distance is larger on your star chart than it is.
All right, I'm
Oh
gonna
god, so
try
even
to-
further.
I'm gonna just shot in the dark, see if I could do it. What should I roll for navigation?
There is a navigation tools roll that you would do, and I think
And
that's
I'm wondering,
based off of.
would I be able to, as the pilot, are there any satellites? Not satellites like
Probably
machine
intelligence.
satellites. Are there like moons around the planet?
Yes, there's actually a couple different planets in this system that you're currently in, and 2 of them have orbiting moons.
Could we just an idea, and I think Quinn would be like, as a character, I think Quinn would like know that this could be something that he'd be able to do. Could he derive the distance with the pilot? Oh, what's the pilot's name?
Alpha.
Alfie.
Alfie. Can Quinn and Alfie derive the distance between the planet and the satellites, like the moons, and then use that on the star map that we have, the old star maps or whatever like is currently there, to say like, okay, we know the distance here, and then would I be able to assist Elias then if we like spent some time with Alfie figuring out like what the various distances were?
You're
From
more
a
than
pilot's
welcome to do
standpoint.
that. It would probably take the group a long time to extrapolate that data, because you don't know how much time has passed.
Mhm.
You don't know, like, you have X and you have Y, but you don't have Z to solve the equation. So it would take you a long time to kind of find Z.
All right, Elias, you're on your own.
Okay.
Good luck.
So
You can
I have
definitely do that,
navigation
though. You could take the
tools.
time, and it would, the captain is up for that, because the captain knows we can't really go home without a charted course. We can't
Another
just
idea.
guess.
Could we extrapolate that data easier by using the old star chart and then using that to say, okay, 200 years ago, the moon was there. And in what we're looking at now, the moon is here.
Again, it would take you time to do so, but you could definitely do it. You're all smart enough that you could definitely extrapolate the time frames and everything to get the answer.
We would probably also need to know how far forward or back we are.
But yeah, you're still kind of missing the Z of the equation.
Yeah,
What
wait,
time frame you're in.
So what's a navigation tools check?
I believe that's an intelligence
Okay, so it's
based, and you're
intelligence.
proficient, so you would add your proficiency.
Okay, so let's try this. So it's a 15 on the first,
Okay.
and a 10 on the second.
Okay. So I would say you come to an answer, find yourself getting a course, but you're about 40% confident in its accuracy, because the way things work with faster than light travel, you have to pull out of faster than light travel in the right exact spot, or you would end up in the middle of a star or in the middle of a planet, you know.
Yeah, so I'm going to look at the group and be like, so we could maybe get home. But there's a 60% chance that we just, end up in a star.
If we take the time and like the whole group helps him, can he get just like a straight roll
Again,
in like
you're kind of
few
missing a
days?
piece of the equation. So you would be able to do that, but you wouldn't have the accurate like time. You don't know what time zone you're in. Like,
Okay.
when
Question. So there was we had a planet that had tech to go into space, equivalent tech. Can we like pull up sensors to find other things that are in space?
yes, your
to
ship
get
is fully
current
equipped
stuff?
for local sensors. Your deep space sensors are not fully operational at this point.
Okay.
And it does take time for those probes to go out and relay information back for deep space probes. But you do have fully equipped local sensors that you could scan an entire solar system in the matter of 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think we should investigate other stuff and maybe see if we can find some current star charts or something. Because 60% chance isn't that good.
That's a pretty good chance of not making it.
Or
Mhm.
just ending up somewhere else. Anywhere else.
Like
No,
in
yeah.
Sol, like in the planet.
I don't.
Well, that's
I
the problem, is,
definitely
like,
don't think we
also,
should
like-
fly as is. No.
even if I figure like if I roll like a standard roll, if I don't roll under a 15, I think we're gonna have trouble.
Yeah, you
'Cause
can
Poseidon's
definitely.
super far, right?
Poseidon is on the other side of the galaxy, the known galaxy. So you have traveled basically in a straight line path on the
That's
opposite.
where the Nautilus's planet
Mhm.
used to be, right?
That is the home system of the Nautilus.
So it's not only we're traveling in different things with the map, we're also traveling really far. Let's see.
And you're more
Poseidon
than
is
welcome.
there.
Again,
I'm gonna message.
To-
When a pilot comes in to land,
Hmm?
is there like a common communication channel that's used to communicate between like a pilot and a landing bay? Like I know that we had the AI or like the computer that was talking to us.
right, there's a
when we
common
first showed up.
frequency that those operate on.
Would
Not
I be
all
able to-
planets use them, but it is
Yeah.
a common denominator, especially with
Would
the
I-
coalition.
Would I be able to just like hail that channel and see if I get a response from where I am, or would I have to be back at the bridge to do that?
The debriefing room has access to pretty much almost everything the bridge has access.
Okay.
So you're more than welcome, because they use the debriefing room as a planning and strategy
Strategy.
I
planning
love that
room.
game.
Yeah, so you have access to.
Amy, did you do anything with that AI woman, the robot guide? Did we like beef her up or like take a part of a snippet or anything? I can't remember. It was when we first
No.
landed.
No,
I remember we first landed and I had to try to turn her on.
Mm-hmm. That's what I
But-
can remember. I knew there was a roll, but I can't remember. Okay. So,
But the landing pad is still like intact, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
but I think we stole the crystal that was powering it.
Well, just because we stole the crystal that was powering it doesn't mean we can't
Maybe
take
it's
its
solar
insides
powered.
with us and repower it.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I'll try to hail it anyways. I'll try to hail the frequency and just see, because what I really want to know is I'm just going to ask the date. I'm just going to ask what the date is.
Okay.
And I'll just say like, this is Banneker to Corellia landing. We're about to exit orbit. Just wanted to confirm dates for our internal star charts. Do you copy over?
Okay.
And I'll turn off my push to talk. And I'll go, and then I'll go. Should I roll a walkie-talkie check?
No, you're hailing. You know how to operate. These are basic things, basic functions. You wouldn't have spent 4 years at an academy and not know how to operate a hailing frequency.
Well, you don't know me that well.
The charisma check. It depends on if the person on the other side likes you.
You gotta roll a 9
So you're hailing that, and you do actually get a response. It's not from the
Shit.
planet that you just left. Destroyed. But you do get a response.
It's still there.
Oh boy.
Okay, there you go. So you do get a response. This is Hestia Landing Station. The stardate is 4763.4.44. You have permission to leave the solar system.
Does anybody else get that date? I didn't get it.
47.
Hestilian landing station. 476344.
47634.44.
Hey, that's good. Teamwork. And then it's Hestilian. The Hestilian.
The Hestian.
Hestian.
Yep.
Hestian.
Like the god.
So
Hey, I'm
what
gonna
date
look around
do
the
we
room.
think it is?
I'm gonna look around the room, kind of like wide-eyed, like anybody. Does that make sense to anybody else?
Yeah, what's the star date to us?
It's actually in a different format,
Just like it was on the planet.
and it matches the one on the planets. At this point, you would be able to deduce from all the evidence that you've collected that you are no longer in the same time frame left from. It's a pretty safe assumption. And the captain kind of well, that star date was, we don't use that format anymore. That's like 10,000 years ago.
You have to switch the months and the days, and then it makes more sense.
Could I use retrotech? Do I know how to translate that date?
You could, actually. Yes, you could.
That's actually something you're designed for.
Hey!
Mechanics.
Caller. Let's see.
This is a calendar. They used to use this.
Hey Joe, I'm also gonna send out while she's trying to figure the date, I'm gonna send out the 6 scanners to see what else is in the system.
Okay.
I got a 26.
Awesome.
Ayo.
Boom. You've converted your entire itinerary for the next 3 weeks
Mhm.
into the new star date.
Yeah.
Or old star date.
Adriadne,
Old star date.
you definitely can confirm at this point that this is a retro star dating system that was used before the Sol system was brought into its current modern times. This predates the Academy and all that by 10,000 years.
Guys, this is like 10,000 years old.
You are presently in a system that actually the system has been, like, that planet Corellia that you were on.
So it hasn't
No longer.
imploded yet.
Yeah, no longer exists
Got
in your
it.
time, but based on the evidence that you've had and your ability to kind of convert that star date, you've confirmed at this point that you have in fact traveled back in.
And did we just implode it again, or
I don't think so.
pre-implode with taking the
It's
crystal.
still there. Like, look out the window. It's still there. It's fine.
As we see
No.
it.
It's fine.
I think we should leave quick.
But again, how much of history is accurate? Like Adriadne said, how much of that history is accurate? You saw evidence of the aerial bombardment, but all the records indicated was the planet imploded. So maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
Dave.
Okay.
Why?
Well,
Elias,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
your scan does bring back 2 blips. Well, actually 3 blips, but you've already heard from the first blip. The first blip does confirm that there is an active and populated city structure on one of the moons orbiting Hestia.
Okay. Active and populated. Like with
Active
people.
and populated with people. Quite a few people, probably a couple hundred. There are ships on the other side of the solar system. It's kind of blocked from physical view, but on the other side of the solar system, there are actually ships that are coming and going. They're not using FTL. They're using regular intergalactic or intersolar, intersystem travel. A lot longer, takes a lot slower, not faster than light. It is approaching light speed, but they are using that kind of travel.
Now Dave can direct us to these moon base operations.
all right, guys, roll up the windows.
And the other one is a what appears to be an abandoned freighter. And through the scans, you're able to identify that it is a dwarven freighter. There are no signs of life aboard. Or, I'm sorry, there are signs of life aboard, but there's no communication. It's almost as if this is kind of a derelict floating ship. And then there is a space station in orbit around Manali, one of the other planets. It's a Mars-like planet. It is inhospitable. There is no atmosphere on that planet. But the space station is orbiting that planet and has signs of life, again, but no communications.
All right. So, all right, team. We got 3 choices.
Well,
One's the closest.
I think we should leave that up to the captain.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Captain doesn't even know what time it is. Can't even tell the date. Anyway, sorry.
I'm still sitting at
suspended
this
at you.
table, Quinn.
Oh, sorry.
Demotion!
You get demoted. Everybody gets a demotion.
Hades, you're now pilot. Wait, what?
Well, as captain of the ship, my main concern is getting updated star charts so we can chart a course back to the Sol system. Our main mission was to deliver those goods to the moon base on Europa and return home for diagnostics. We are not equipped for intergalactic exploration at this point. Does not seem like we have a choice. If all the evidence collected, I believe we have traveled backwards through time when we went faster than light through that maw, which powered on mysteriously, not supposed to be operational. I think through this coincidence, we have traveled back in time, and even if we were to find our way home, we would find ourselves in a position where
It probably couldn't even do anything with
yes,
the ship.
our equipment would be far superior to the technology currently found on Sol. So, with that understood, priority 1 is finding and updating our star charts so that we can functionally explore the planet and not end up in the middle of a star when we jump to faster than light. Navigation is key to exploration, and we be able to chart our territories, and without updated star charts, kind of dead in the water, and we're guessing where.
Moon base, moon base, moon base.
Question. This might be a question to the captain, but also a question to DM. Has anyone FTL'd through a mall before?
Never been done.
So we
It was
screwed
done
up.
one time.
It's not supposed to be done because theoretically it would
It should
destroy and It's like
Traveling
faster
through a
than
black hole.
travel through a black hole. What we did, we should not
Good
have
news,
survived
guys.
through.
It doesn't destroy the ship, but
Okay.
But
So question
But you
2.
never see it again.
To be fair, this is a unique vessel. We could have just got lucky.
True.
Absolutely right.
The
Pete.
mall that we came through, is it on? Is it working?
The mall that we came through is, according to our scans, it is operational. However, we are currently on the edge of a very dangerous and shifting dead magic zone. And it is currently sitting within that dead magic zone.
But it should shift out at some point.
Yes, and every indication that we have says it'll be about 2 months before that mall is outside of the dead magic.
ooh, 2-month vacation.
So, yeah, I guess that means we have like 2 months before we can try to get home.
We can capture so much data, though. We can figure out why the plasma stuff is there. We can go talk to the people on the moon base. We can maybe rescue some dwarves. Like, we can do so much.
Where is
I'm
the
glad you're
dwarf-
excited about this situation, Adrian.
does she have an off switch?
Oh,
I'm
well, I
sorry,
mean,
Beats. I don't think
technically,
these
we
jokes
all
are
have
fair.
an off switch, but
It's called going to sleep.
or death.
Where is the dwarf ship compared to the like Hestia?
Hestia is probably about a 20-minute travel at current engine function. The derelict ship is also about another 20 minutes, but it's in the opposite direction. And the
Space station?
thank you, the station. The station is about 30 minutes.
Okay, so where do we all want to go?
I'm gonna queue up that comm again
Okay.
to the I'm just pulling Hestian landing station.
Hmm.
Let me say Hestian landing station. This is Banneker again. It looks like we need some parts before we leave. Do you happen to have a selection of Pan-World electronic parts on hand that we could purchase?
This is Hestia landing station. Please come again, Pan World.
All right. I'll check the name with the engineers and get back to you.
Understood.
Do I know if Panworld existed 10,000 years ago?
Pan World would not have existed.
Did any like subsidiaries or beginnings of it exist 10,000 years ago?
There would have been. Okay, so the gnomes would have been the kind of kickoff towards Pan World technologies because the gnomes are
Oh.
kind of tinkerers.
Whoops, sorry guys.
They didn't. They didn't become Pan World.
You're Pan-World. You're at the start of Pan-World.
But they got their beginnings through the gnomes tinkering, and some of that. The flotilla was the biggest, like, punch towards the technology that became Pan World trading. Once the gnomes have kind of invented the floating flotilla, that kind of helped them get out of the dead magic zone, which was about 10,000-ish years ago.
Okay, so
and-
Panworld is close to happening.
It would be in it would be in the works at this
Mhm.
this point. You're not exactly sure
We probably have
where,
another 10 years.
but
Yeah.
the flotilla is kind of what it's the turning point that becomes Pan World.
Cool.
I mean, if we're 10,000 years in the past, we could go to the gnomish homeworld and get them kickstarted on
Mm,
Pan
yeah.
World and be like, look at all this stuff.
I mean, I guess
Could
you
like,
could.
hey, here's some credits. They're not worth anything today, but when they are, could you like invest it? And here's my address.
I'm gonna need this
10,000
in
years,
like
just like
Ooh.
right, yeah.
10,000 years worth of annuity.
Yeah, and I'm thinking a
What?
little different name, maybe like Banneker World.
Banworld.
Call it Google.
Oh, Google's been dead for ages.
There's a reason the universe is called a Google.
That's 10,000 years ago. Google was Pan World. Well, I just thought I would try because the satellite was Pan-World Make.
No, yeah, that totally makes sense. Like,
And
I
so I
get
thought
it.
maybe they sent us back as like deliverer,
purpose.
like we're delivered something on accident.
Maybe.
It still might be
Anyway,
true.
it's too old.
So we are 10,000 years in the past. Gnomes aren't even a thing right now. Well, they are, but
Excuse me.
I mean, like, they're not part of the galactic community just yet.
Yeah, because you guys suck and you can't build anything that doesn't work on magic. Sorry about it.
It's true. Like AK-47 or the M4. It's like,
I mean, that works in space.
The captain
point.
kind of stretches.
Well, Captain, I'm all for helping individuals, but
Moon base, moon base, moon
but I
base.
guess we should probably head towards the moon base.
Fair enough. Perhaps there might be some updated star charts, or they might have star charts that you could trade from one of the local vendors or ships.
Or they would know where we could find them.
Absolutely. If it's a populated area, that might be our best bet. I am on board with that.
Do we still have extra titanium?
You?
We can give them a bunch of titanium.
I'm sure as a trade hub, Hestia would probably be trading titanium.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we take about half of it to trade. We might need some.
Yeah, no problem.
Or will we bring on board?
Sure.
Could we also get the star charts by going on the derelict ship?
If the derelict ship has a navigation console, it would have star charts, and you could download them to your Omni tools and bring them aboard.
Did our scans tell us how long it's been derelict? How long it's just been floating out there?
There are still signs of life coming from it, so it's just kind of floating dead in the water. It's not in an orbital area. It's kind of in the middle of the solar system, just floating.
So, it hasn't been caught by gravity somewhere yet.
Right.
So here's another question. If we do go to the moon base, should we try to explain what happened, or should we just leave behind any technology that might scare them and then, or that might intrigue
very careful
them?
what we say.
Yeah.
Different.
We don't want to tip our hand.
Yes, absolutely. I would refrain from telling them about time travel. However, technology in the universe throughout time has risen and fallen, so I don't think you'll have to worry, especially in a trade hub, about
true.
technologies throwing any red flags.
We'll just be really vague about stuff.
Joe, history question about my own history.
Okay.
How long have the Avia been of power?
The Avia Ra are ancient.
Ancient.
They kind of
elven ancient.
Yeah, they kind of stem from the center of the universe and kind of have that little territory around the center of the universe in the Sepulchre Star. So they've been around for. The only thing older than the Avian Ra, I believe, are the
elves.
Oh, the liquid people.
Oh,
amoeboids.
Oh, the amoeboids.
No, the elves too. I think the elves are older.
I think the elves were like the first to.
Elves were
stars.
I think elves got the credit.
Yeah, they're the first to reach out.
Yeah, because the Avia Ra found the core star
after they found it.
Yeah. Anyway, so worst case scenario, if anyone asks, this is a vessel from the Avia Ra.
Cool.
We know they exist at some point, so there's one of me on the ship. So.
There's also an elf.
And an
elf.
Half of one, but yeah.
I technically wouldn't exist yet, right?
That's a good question.
10,000
years history. You would pass as an AI or an automaton. So if questioned,
just beep boop.
Beep boop. Boop beep boop.
Maybe we could carry you on our shoulders.
I'm not
She's
exactly
a bit too
sure.
big for that.
As the captain kind of intercedes, I'm not too sure when your race became sentient.
Could I know?
It's after a war. Wasn't it a war? Wasn't there a war that
Mhm.
affects?
Mhm.
But if anything else, just pretend to be an AI, and that should work. Passes.
Roger.
Oh no. He downloaded malware.
So,
All right.
shall we head to the bridge and start navigating? Where are we headed? Does everybody agree? Hestian base would be the first place to start.
Yes.
Fantastic. I appreciate your input. As captain of this vessel, I will make the decision official. We are heading to Hestia. Please take your stations. Captain stands up and...
Also, are you feeling okay?
Yes, our medical bay is in full operations and I am feeling much better. Thank you.
Okay, good.
They would not have been able to revive me so well had not taken action and made the decision. It is with that in mind that I trust you all. So
Aww.
you have
Don't
been
ruin it.
officially promoted to the official ground team, RSV.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hands, slap hands. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Beats.
Oh, 5-5.
Beats.
The highest.
Jumping like 3 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do
The
that
most
again,
of
please do that again. Jump, ready, 1, 2, 3, and she turns off the the fake gravity. It's like those after-school movies.
Yeah.
Go on.
We all fall.
Dismissed, and she heads back towards the bridge. Do you all want to do anything, or are you headed straight to your positions?
Probably straight there for me.
How long estimate will I know with us taking off?
It would probably take about 10 minutes to prep,
Okay.
because the ship has been stationary for a while.
Like all the repairs are done?
99.9% of them. The only thing that's really offline at this point are deep space probe scanners and the FTL drive. You can still travel approaching light speed, but your FTL drives are kind of not fully functional.
Got you.
So you can't
All
really
right.
leave the solar system
Oh shit!
Without
Whatever happened to the lightning that went into the wall?
without spending a lot of time. The lightning that went into the...
When the thingy
the
got mad
virus
and
that
chopped.
Satellite.
wrecked our the AI virus that wrecked our ship
No,
in the first place?
Yeah. As far as the captain knows, you really haven't told anyone about that. So
Oh.
Hey,
they're not really aware of that at this point.
Hey,
Ariadne?
Captain Amelia, hang on a second. Wait, before you go real quick.
As she's walking out the door, she turns around. Yes, Adriadne?
Did we tell you about the weird lightning that hit the wall and ruined everything?
No.
The reason why we went into FTL.
Well, I hope that was the
Into the
reason.
mall.
She goes over to the chair and sits down.
Yeah.
No. What is this? The reason we went
Sorry.
into the mall?
Yes, when we were down in the cargo bay and we were examining the satellite and we had it contained, then it jumped out of the shielding, killed one of our crewmates, and the lightning went inside the wall. And then the ship started to be taken over and started to head towards the maw.
That's
And
why
then-
we lost the system.
Yes.
The satellite
Yeah.
shorted us out.
Satellite thingy. Yeah.
It sorted us out and it took control of the ship.
Took control of the ship. I died. Our diagnostics apparently did not reveal anything. Adriadne, if you report to the head of engineering and have her do a deep scan of the systems.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go dig around in there.
Okay. Report back directly to me. In fact, Adriadne, I'm going to promote you to co-head. And she will be now your co-worker, but you will report directly to me.
Okay.
Please let me know what you find.
Yes, Captain.
I will make sure that the head of engineering is aware that she is co-head.
I pat her on the shoulder like, congratulations.
Scurries out of the room like, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure.
So, whose decision was it to bring this satellite on board?
Yours?
I have to go to the bathroom.
You know, I do recall
Yours.
authorizing that.
Everyone points fingers.
Joe's.
We all point fingers at the captain.
Well, I did authorize you bringing that aboard. Who discovered satellite?
It'll be kind of us as a group, I would say.
Right, and then you reported, and I decided to bring.
Yeah, we wanted to take the scenic route, and then we saw a weird satellite, and then you were like, we should totally transport that thing on board.
Fortunately, it resulted in the death of one. Take full responsibility. Please investigate this to the full extent of your abilities, Adriadne, and report what you find directly. I'd like to know if this lightning shorted out our systems and that is why we went through them all, or if there is something nefarious side of that.
And don't worry about the person who was injured. It was Bill. He was caught stealing cards and gambling.
Yeah, it's Bill.
I wouldn't feel too bad about that.
No.
We don't.
A loss of life aboard my vessel under my command.
No,
Regardless of his
the dead
personality.
person, obviously horrible.
You might be
The
court-martialed.
injured guy, he's all right.
Well, that's what med bays are for, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, Beats,
I always say.
didn't you say it talked to you?
I could communicate a little bit with it.
With the satellite.
Yes, I was trying to figure some things out, but we did have other people in the group that had to mess with it further, which I believe is what made the lightning pulse from the satellite.
All very interesting information, and that does put us at a little bit of a risk if something is going on. I would like you to investigate the satellite a little more, see if you can communicate.
I will try again. Once the lightning or entity left, I do believe that the satellite was silent, but I will give it a go. Maybe see if I can put some kind of, I don't know, power source to it to see if it would boot any kind of system or leftover memory, something like that. I'll do my best, Captain.
Understood. Thank you for investigating. Hades,
Sure.
have anything to add?
I believe that would be it for the time being. For the time being.
While we are put in this precarious situation, we are making the best of the situation as we can. I appreciate your input and your bravery and your courage. Please continue to represent the Banneker as you have, and congratulations for returning safely and productively. Again, were it not for your courageous actions, the Banneker would still be adrift and in peril.
Thank you.
Gets up, leaves the room, and heads towards the bridge. I had thought about doing that, but I didn't want to take it, you
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Hades is going to go clean himself up in his room and report to his station afterwards.
okay. As you walk into the security office after cleaning yourself up, everybody in there, there's 4 people, and they're all your superiors, stand up and they start clapping. They start slow
Get a
clapping,
slow clap.
and then they all start clapping.
Oh no! Any of you would have done the same thing.
2 of them nod. Yes, we would, but you were in the position and you did what you needed to do. You are an exemplary example
Exemplary example, you say?
of our security forces, and we appreciate I was injured, one of them stands forward, and without your help, I would have certainly perished without the medbay being restored. So thank you. And reaches out to kind of shake.
Yeah. I'm glad you're back on your feet. But it's no time to slack. We doing some more scans before taking off, and I believe we are heading to a moon base. Things are different, so be on your toes.
Understood. And the person in charge of security forces kind of steps forward.
And I stand at it ready.
Hades Corvex, right?
Yes, sir.
Hades Corvex. You have served the Banneker honorably. Congratulations. And he pulls open this little box that's kind of like 3 inches by 2 inches, and he opens it up, and there's this little medal. It's like a medal of honor. It's got a little metal bar, and it says Hades, and it's got this little hanging ribbon with another star that hangs beneath. You have earned this, along with your promotion.
Thank you, sir.
The captain has informed me that you are now head of security.
No pressure.
You're in management now.
Oh.
Just remember, poop rolls downhill.
He just kind of goes like static.
He kind of reaches in and he says, he kind of pins it to your thing. And thank you for all your services here on Banneker, and I look forward to serving under you. Salute.
He like takes a minute. Right. Okay.
Order, sir.
Do your rounds. Make sure all the civilians are okay, and check in engineering. Adriadne is doing some scans, and something may or may not happen. And I want
Affirmative.
bodies down there.
And they, the two of them head out, and the prior chief of security sits down in a chair next to yours as you now have the big seat, and you're in front of the console of security cameras and buttons, and you know how to operate them. You've trained on them, but you're now also
Security
I have all the power now.
Is the chair made of swords? Just like hundreds of swords.
It's not 100 swords, like all standard
blaster
carbines.
rifles.
No, yeah, like a bunch of different guns just sticking out.
No, that's actually the one on the bridge. And he does inform you that while this is your office and you have full ranking authority here in this office, you also have a position on the bridge now as chief of security.
Right.
Do you get to fire weapons now?
I already fire weapons.
Or do you get to fire the big ship ones, though?
As chief of security, yes, you get to fire the ship weapon.
You hear
Ion
Adriadne
cannon.
asking in the back of your mind.
Deep
Fire a
down,
warning shot across their bow.
deep down, like Hades is like, oh, I'm disappointed because like I want to fly my ship, my fighter. It's like, but then who's gonna fly her?
I
Zima
get to shoot
says.
missiles at people.
I mean, you can
Hey
still
guys,
do
I
that
have an
as
idea.
chief of
Let's
security.
test out these plasma cannons on that planet over there.
But no, he sits down. He's like, right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do my own rounds. Can you take my spot on the bridge until I get there?
Affirmative, sir. And he leaves the door.
I'm going to do what rounds help out with checking the citizens, the civilians, and making sure everyone's secured and stuff like that. But mostly just gonna like do the Bruce Banner piano, dun, dun, dun. Just like, oh man, no.
buddy. Oh,
I
buddy.
wasn't ready. But yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do until I replace him on the bridge.
Okay. So as you're going through your rounds, we return to the bridge as the captain has made her spot to the bridge and sits in her seat. Quinn and Elieas, gotta get right every time. Elias and Quinn, you come into the bridge, and Alfie is locked in. He's got his kind of combat wheelchair, and you see there's a little bit of an upgrade on it, as he's got like this little console on the right-hand side that he can push buttons now, and there's anti-grav on it. So he's kind of hovering around in this little chair, and he's just kind of shooting back and forth, kind of testing out this upgrade, his combat effective wheelchair. I guess it's not a wheelchair. It's
Hover chair?
Yeah, hover chair at this point.
I'd be doing like donuts and sharp turns, like drifting around.
He's doing like barrel rolls and wheelies and all kinds of like little stunts inside the bridge.
Yes, that's
Is it basically just Xavier's wheelchair from like the animated series?
It's much smaller, but yeah, it fits into tight spaces and makes it really, really easy for him to navigate and get around.
Nice.
So the two of you kind of walk in there as Alfie kind of looks over and says, "Hey, welcome aboard." And Alfie kind of and hovers down into his spot and kind of locks it in for a second, and then oh, that's right, Captain told me, and kind of unlocks it and moves it into your position. And then there's this little like locking.
Alfie,
Get out of my seat.
you're out of my house. I think you're in my. I think you're in the wrong spot, Alfie.
Oh no! I'm now the co-pilot. You're the pilot. It is an honor to serve under you, Quinn.
Wasn't he
For the
just
whole
in-
ship?
As often as you like, I am to do your bidding. If you would like me to steer the ship, yes, Quinn. I am under your command for the ship. I'm not taking your bags anywhere. I'm not hauling your shit anywhere. But if you
I
tell
don't
me
know.
to
With that
steer the
really
ship,
cool chair, though, like I bet you could carry.
You could pull a
Could you,
wagon or something, and
Is the captain on the bridge?
the captain is sitting in the bridge. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, I will. I'll say. Well, Alfie, I had a great teacher back at the academy, and taught me a very important lesson. And it was, if you do a good job moving somebody's bags, maybe someday you'll be able to be the pilot. And I'm going to give him my bag, and I'm going to wink at him, and he's going to have all these assault rifles like in the bag, and I'm going to be like, we're going to play with these later.
Alfie kind of, as he opens the bag and looks and sees the assault rifles, he's like, oh, okay. And he kind of zips it up, and he sets it down on the ground next to him.
Yeah. And I'm going to wink at him and be like, all right, we're good. We're going to nux. We're going to COVID. We're going to elbow. Boom.
COVID.
I really do look up to you, Quinn. You are an example of bravery
Literally.
and courage. When you sit down, you're not as tall as me. I kind of look.
Alfie, you're the better pilot, man.
But check this out. And he pushes a button on the chair, and it kind of rises up where he's taller than you. I can look down on you if I have to. He pushes the button.
Back down. Hey, I appreciate it, Alfie. Just so you know, you're the better pilot. Captain already told us we're the ground team. So I have a feeling that you're going to be spending a lot more time.
Oh, no.
Here.
I completely understand. It's usually the pilot that gets all the dirty jobs, and the co-pilot, this is the cushier job. I'm cool with it.
That's kind of why I was really enjoying it up until about 4 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah.
But
I just want you to know, Quinn, that I had a say in this. I really pushed hard.
I think this is where most people say thanks, Alfie.
Oh, no thanks necessary. I should be thanking you.
It's you know what, this will work out great for both of us. But seriously, we're gonna shoot those things later. I'm gonna show you how to handle one of those things.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. Also,
I'm hip. I'm a child.
Also, Alfie, I forgot to tell you this. You're old enough, hunter safety, except in space.
He is. He's about 18. He's
He's
adulthood. Rich.
I think it's good.
He's on his way. Usually there's a linear progression of time, but now he's 10,000 years.
Yeah, what
What
age
was
would
he?
we
Was
be
13 or 14, wasn't he?
He was pretty young. He was
Yeah.
he was like sophomore year.
I
I'm gonna
redact
tell
that.
him-
He is 13 or 14.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him, hey Alfie, just so you know, as I'm getting set up, swinging the controls over, moving some of the panels. Hey, by the way,
Quinn.
it's 10,000 years in the past.
I thought something was off.
Yeah. Back in engineering is going to work through some of the stuff, but I was sitting in here just listening, which is rare. And yeah, something happened in the satellite, and this place that we're over right now doesn't even exist where we came from, but it's here.
What planet is this? Over
Corellia?
the one that
Corellia?
imploded?
But it's not, man. It's here. And like in
Huh.
Pan World, I called a space station and asked if they had parts for Pan World, and they didn't even know what Pan World was.
Well, how far back did we go? I mean, in theory, faster than light into all would be a black hole. That's why they do it. I'm surprised we weren't tore apart.
Well, yeah, I mean, we kind of were.
For some pretty heavy damage.
So yeah, we're like the oldest people in the solar system right now.
How do you figure that?
Well, if we're from 10,000 years in the future, and we just went back 10,000 years, that means that you're 10,013 years old.
Oh, that's not how that works. I'm still 13, but it's 10,000 years ago, so I would have to live 10,000 years old.
Yeah, you'll get it when you're older.
Okay,
You might be
so
right.
it's like sex.
Yeah, you'll get it when you're older. Yeah, it's
Fair enough.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Except not, but yeah.
And the captain looks back at you, Quinn, and kind of raises her eyebrow, like, did I make the right decision? And then she just kind of turns around.
Stutter step the ship. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Elias, would you like to chart us a course for Hestia?
Hestia?
Hestia.
Yeah.
The goddess Hestia.
Yeah, find her and take us to her.
Yes, I am plotting us a course.
Okay. And Beats, as you are, I assume, returning to the cargo bay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you return to the cargo bay, you find that the automaton that has been following you this entire time is still following you.
It's got all of our goodies in this bag.
And there is a line of automatons that have been sitting in that inspection line that you put them in, and they're kind of they're powered on power reserves. They're kind of powered down, but they're still functional.
They're in sleep mode.
Yeah.
And I think we had kind of assumed that whatever had happened when all the ship's systems malfunctioning things is kind of what was throwing them off to begin with.
Mhm.
So I will try rebooting a couple of them, like go through like a systems check and see if they will work properly. And if they do, I will, restart all of them and have them go back to their tasks.
Okay.
In the
As you start to power them all up, they do kind of begin to power on and function normally. You do note that as they're powering on, their lights in their eyes are usually a bluish light color, light blue white. They do kind of dim to a darker green and kind of flicker, so that they have this, like, where they're normally complete ovals, they have this flat top and then the bottom part is oval, and they almost look like they have some sort of, like, emotional response in the eyes that are being displayed, and then they kind of shrink back up to these full white bright ovals, and then you're able to kind of tell them what to do, and they function normally.
Yeah, they were about to get thrown out the hatch.
Emotion, not in my cargo bay.
Hey, go check on that
Yeah.
dwarven freighter. Boom.
Hey, you guys should check the airlock.
But
and-
they do exactly what they're told. There doesn't seem to be any kind
So,
of
yeah.
malfunction on them. You just do notice that those eyes change that color, and they have some. You don't get the sense of sentient emotion, but they look like they have some sort of emotional eye kind of flicker,
Okay.
just
Well,
like
I will have
Adriadne is
them-
doing now. They look.
Suddenly suspicious. They're very
Yes.
Yeah.
sus.
Very sus.
Well, I'll have them start tidying up the cargo bay. I'm sure a lot of stuff was thrown around and all that during our jump and during construction and all that.
Yes.
So
You see that
Um,
a couple of the Gundams, a couple of the mech suits have kind of fallen off and kind of flat, like face planted in the ground. They're there, so
Gundams?
yeah, so we
Did
have
their
mech
little Gundam
suits.
faces get all smushed up?
Wait. We have like Gundam-sized Gundams, or we do have like just mech suits?
there are
Like-
mech suits that are larger than regular mech suits. They're about in between a Gundam size.
Like power loaders.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
What about Caesar? I
So
could
you're
have
telling me
Gundams
there's a
entire
chance.
Exactly, yeah.
There
And
are
then
a lot
I
of
would
kinds
ride
of
one.
things,
time.
and
I
most
told-
of
I
those
told
things
you,
are
I'm
found
getting
in the
my
cargo.
mech.
Yeah.
Beats works in the toy box, guys. Works down in the toy box.
Yep.
Dude, I'm just thinking of a cleric
Oh,
Gundam that can use like holy magic. So it just comes out like, bah!
So once I get all the automatons kind of off on their little jobs, I would like to, well, I suppose probably inventory everything that we had picked up on the planet first, because that's kind of usually my job and my forte. And then I would like to, find some kind of a power cell or a battery pack or something that I can use to go see if I can work on the satellite.
Okay. You're able to find a battery pack fairly easily. You know where they're put, where they're stored. Pretty much are very familiar. Intimately. Bolts. All the way down, everything inside the cargo bay. So you're able to
Oh, yeah.
easily find a battery pack.
These nuts and bolts.
And you head over to the satellite. What are you doing?
I know I have lots of, when I said my kind of on my building in my belt and stuff, I have all kinds of adapters and things. I would like try and find a connection to like actually physically plug into the satellite to see if there's anything I can download, but I will try and jump it to get it, see if it'll power up.
Okay. You do find that there's a USB 5.0 drive. Happen to have.
10,000 years. That's as far as I could get.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be universal, but is it? So you're able to hook in, and as you're hooking in, there's no power coming from the satellite. The satellite seems like completely dead, like just a hunk of metal at this.
All right. Yeah, I will. Is that with me jumping or putting the battery pack to it, or?
Yeah, you're able to hook up the battery pack, and it's just there's nothing. It's just shorted out.
Nothing.
It's just
Okay. So I kind of kick it, call it a piece of junk,
it rolls.
and I'll chime back in and beats to the captain. Beats to the captain.
This is the captain. Go ahead.
Sir, I tried to add a power source to the satellite. It will not power on, and I cannot retrieve any further information from it. Over.
Understood. If the satellite is no longer useful and we can't glean anything from it, it is taking up space. Feel free to jettison.
Or dismantle it and we can use its
Yeah.
parts.
Sir, I with your permission, I would like to disassemble and put it into one of the
Disassemble Johnny 5? No, disassemble. Sorry.
And put it into one of our empty crates and put it under lockdown.
Permission granted.
Okay. So yeah, I will disassemble it so it's easier to put into a crate.
Okay.
And I'll get that logged and locked down into the cargo bay.
All right. As you're dismantling, Adriadne, we are in the engineering section. What would you like to do? As you enter in, she does acknowledge, and she looks a little bit dejected, but also acknowledges. Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you. Are you feeling better?
I am much better, yeah, physically.
That's good. I was very worried.
Yes, the traveling at light speed through a mall is not something recommended by the Galactic.
No, yeah, they do
We
tell you that.
experienced that firsthand, and good experience.
No.
But through your courage and efforts, Medical Bay was restored, and congratulations.
Thanks. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It was not a demotion. It was just now we have to communicate a little bit more before I make decisions. I'm not used to that, so I apologize ahead of time if I come off rash or brush you off in any way. It's not intentional. I just don't normally have to run my ideas by people other than the captain.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I don't mind. Anyway, I've got to dig around in the systems and see if I can find if anything weird is in there.
Yes, the captain informed me that you're investigating this lightning strike on our systems. If you require any assistance, please let me know, as I will be focusing my attentions on returning the drives to.
Okay,
I can
good luck. Also, if you need assistance, obviously, I'm right here.
Yes, thank you. I think I will.
Okay, cool. Get on my stool.
See
spin
her
up.
kind of drag a sledgehammer over towards the FTL drive.
I'm gonna get. Yeah. So out of my stool, I will. The first thing I will do is send out a ship-wide almost email saying if anyone has had any strange minor occurrences or technology malfunctions to report them immediately, so I might be able to track something in case something I don't know, a coffee maker did something weird. And yeah,
We have Decepticons on the ship now.
yeah.
I know. I was gonna say. Be besides the ship losing power half an hour ago.
No, yeah, but now that everything is working and something might be in the ship, if there's a little malfunction, it might be a sign of
Right, I got
where
you.
it is or where it's been.
Okay, so you send that email out.
Yeah. Email. What do we even call it that now? What's this, just a message? I don't know. Anyway,
Electronic message, e-message.
It's called a fax.
yeah, we just went back and now we call them faxes again. So I send out the fax and then send out the fax so I can get the fax. And I will start
Starfax.
Yeah, Starfax. I'll start really digging in. The first thing I'll do is probably look for a signature similar to the
I can't get up.
thing in the email.
Okay, I would like you to roll your data roll.
Who's my favorite character?
Mine too.
He was a good character.
I don't get crushes on androids. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the eyes.
I know, right? They have a CD that he released of Data just singing, and it's Old Golden Eyes is back. Amazing. 12.
Okay, so it takes you a while to kind of dig around it. The systems in the ship are large and they're massive software files, and all kinds of programming, and so it takes you a while to kind of go and begin. But as you're investigating, you start getting a swarm of facts turned to you about all kinds of odd glitches in things. The lights flickering, doors opening and closing automatically on their own. Just all kinds of weird things.
Beats, do you answer my message? Do you send me a fax?
Yes, you all also receive these.
He's categorizing it. He's gonna send you like a super like each issue.
Yeah.
I reply.
Ticket is
I reply. Space poltergeist? Question mark.
Besides getting a promotion, no, I'm losing my mind. But yeah, no glitches on my end.
I go to start typing, but the whole ship starts careening one way, so I go back and grab it.
No.
So yeah, Elias
No
has given
texting
you
while flying.
Exactly.
a heading to get to this space, so I'd like you to roll your piloting as this.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
while you're piloting the ship,
So
Adriadne,
promotion? Does a promotion come with like a bonus to my piloting checks?
Nope.
It's just like, hey, you're in the lead.
You're just
but
now
you're terrible.
responsible
You're
for
just-
them.
You rolled a 2.
Well, maybe you can make Alfie type for you, though.
Yeah, Alfie, take this message down.
Alfie says yes.
You can make Alfie type for you. You
15.
can make him do so much.
What was your pilot?
1-5 is my pilot
1-5,
check.
okay.
15.
So Adriadne, you're getting this slew of email replies, and they just seem like kind of glitches. They don't really catch your eye as this is definitely an issue. This is more like, hey, this door did this weird thing. Hey, the lights flickered at me
No,
for a
it's
second.
fine. That's exactly what I need because it's trying to hide itself, but it'll make little sounds.
It's a web of lies.
But you're getting quite a few of them. Probably getting at least 100 to 150 responses from the residential department, from all the people who sent them out in the residential.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like the work orders of the apartment building. My sink's clogged.
But here's what I would like to do next is be like, okay, what time did the thingy shock the wall? And then I want to see if it seems like it followed whatever pattern of systems it would follow. Like for the time that these malfunctions happened, is it like working out from that area?
Okay, what was your data roll?
Bad 12.
Okay. Well, that was the initial roll to start your investigation. Go ahead and roll a data roll to kind of connect these patterns
Oh, for
that you're
Pete's
looking
sake.
for.
It's not for me. It's for you.
God damn it.
Yes.
Strong 8.
Okay. You don't notice anything particular as you're like scrolling through this swarm of emails. But about the time that you arrive at the moon base, I will give you an answer. Because it would take that long for you to kind of
Hey.
put this together based on that roll. So, we come back to Hades. You've arrived at the bridge just as they're about to, as Elias is providing the course to Quinn. And Quinn is about to kind of begin the travel around. It's a 20-minute. It's not that long. It's not like... And you're not doing FTL, so there's nothing. It's just kind of controlling the ship leisurely around the solar system at near light speed.
We could do it in 18 minutes.
Quinn pushes his luck. And with a 15, this is what happens. No, I'm just- Quinn, it is a smooth flight. You do run into an asteroid belt, but you're able to kind of navigate through it smoothly so that people don't really feel the navigation of the ship. It's a smooth flight. And as you come around the asteroid belt and out of that and into this other side of this binary star system, because there's this massive red star and then there's the little white one orbits around and kind of does binary star. As you come around, you see this planet that looks like Mars, but the size of about Jupiter. Okay, it's this massive red, dead-looking planet. And you can see as you're approaching this moon about the size of Earth kind of comes around the outside and is orbiting around, and you're kind of navigating around towards the approaching orbit of this moon so that you land and get this intercom. This is Hestia landing base. You have clearance to approach. Please land on pad H5.
I'll lean back to the captain before we respond and ask him, does he want us to bring the whole ship in, or does he want us to send a crew in first?
It would probably be best if we orbit around the planet and you send the chariot down. We don't know anything about these people, and with the time difference, probably best to limit our exposure.
So I was thinking, I'll tell Elfie that to get the ship in orbit and keep an open comm, and I'll send a message over to Adriadne and to Beats and let them know that ground team's meeting in an hour at the chariot. We're gonna head down, and I'll look to Elias and Hades. Did you come up to the bridge, or are you still kind of doing your rounds?
No, I'm at the bridge this time.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Time.
So I kind of looked at the two of you, nod, and I'll tell Elfie we'll shoot those guns later.
I look forward to it, Quinn. Can I call you Quinn?
No, you have to call me Captain. No, I'm just kidding. You can call me
That's
Quinn. No, can't call me
I won't.
Quinn. No, you can call me Quinn. Sorry, I don't know what I said, but I meant to say you can call me Quinn. All right. Do you want me to take these guns?
I think you need them. Yeah, they're yours.
Oh, no, I don't. No, we don't need them. Actually, hang on 1 second. I'll reach in and pull out my concussion rifle. Okay, yeah, now you can keep them.
Okay, they'll be right here. I'll take good care of them.
Yeah, thanks. All right.
There's gonna be bullet holes on the front screen.
Yeah.
The captain's dead when you get back. Well, I didn't mean
You'll
it.
shoot your eye out.
I'm the captain. Now. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm the captain now.
I was just cleaning them and they went off.
Anyway, yeah, so the three of you are at the bridge and kind of head out towards where the chariots are stored. Adriadne, you finally you see out through the holographic window. Sorry, holographic window that you are at your destination. You're orbiting this massive Jupiter-sized planet. It kind of dwarfs the Banneker, which is unusual because everything you've been around has made the ship feel large, but this planet is huge.
It's a big old boy.
And you can see this moon, and on the moon is this you can kind of make out this small structure that looks like a a pyramid.
Just a small dot.
Yeah, it's small from where you're at in the orbit and
yeah,
everything, but you can see it from where you're at, which means it's probably pretty large.
He's a big boy too.
But you get a hit on your investigation. Your screen kind of goes dead, and there's a cursor blinking. And the letters start typing themselves to form, "Who are you looking for?" ? And then it enters down, and there's a blinking cursor for you to type in.
Want to play a game?
You think technology is your
Neo. No, I
There's so many scenes that just harkens back to it.
Oh, the White Rabbit.
mhm.
No,
I
David,
don't know. I don't
don't
know
think
what
I
its
will.
name is or anything. I guess I would type whatever it was that just killed my crewmate.
Okay, so you type in whatever it was that killed my crewmate, enter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the cursor enters, and you can see the question and your statement, your answer, and then it goes down and it kind of blinks, and then it's almost like something is typing back. The letters appear one by one. It says, "Yes, I'm sorry about that. ...
Shit.
Oh no.
I would be like, it happens. So what? Who are you?
It drops down after you enter that in, and you see the letters appear. I don't know. We exist.
Okay. Could you exist not in our computer?
It enters down. I don't know.
You want to try?
And then at that point, you get the intercom through Quinn and say, "Hey, we're gonna meet down at the thing."
Might be late.
Your house.
You have an hour.
Yeah.
You have an hour. I said an hour.
Might be late.
Still.
So yeah, it's blinking there. It replied the same thing twice. I don't know. We exist. Then you ask that, and I don't know. We exist.
Oh no! Don't die.
Pardon me. Sorry. I'm not.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm not normally a drinker, so this wine is like good stuff.
You're like, is there anything that you require to exist? Like that you need for your existence, your continued existence?
Kind of see it jump down, and it kind of like ellipses, thinking to type, like it's gonna type, but then it like disappears, and then it ellipses again. Power.
Okay.
And then after a little, like a second before you start typing back, it says, "I am learning," and it drops down.
Cool.
I'm sorry, it does not say "I'm learning." It says, "We are learning."
Cooler. Oh shoot. I am going to record or download that conversation if possible. And then I'm going to say, please be very careful with the ship systems. If you mess with something like too important, you might kill people.
Okay, and then it responds, "I'm fully aware of my capabilities." Or, I'm sorry, we're fully aware of our capabilities.
It's even worse every time you correct it. Okay. I will say, I am going to try to find you a new home.
I like it here. We like it here. Sorry.
It will still be here, but maybe just not in the computer.
It takes a minute. Like, you don't think it's going to respond.
Mhm.
Sitting there and kind of sitting there. Says, "No malicious. We exist." And then your screen kind of goes back to where you have. There's no communication screen. It's not like a DOS prompt anymore.
Mhm.
You have the interactive screen.
Okay. I am going to. Was I able to like archive the conversation somehow?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
It's like when you screenshot a message.
Yeah.
You're able to do that. Yep.
So I get that, and I message the captain, and I'm like, "Hey, apparently the ground team's gonna have to leave soon, Captain. But guess what? The thing is in the computer, like I thought it was, and I talked to it. Here's the conversation. I'm going to try to find it like, I want to make it like the equivalent of a house, right? I'm going to try to make something that like is enriching for it, like a nice little box full of all sorts of data and has room to run around and stuff. But I won't be able to do that before I go. So just keep an eye on stuff.
Affirmative. Understood. Thank you for investigating and thank you for keeping me updated.
Yeah.
Is there any malicious intent from this thing? Should we be worried that it could
It said
suck
no.
the oxygen out of the ship or something?
It said no, and I told it to be very careful. It said it was aware of its capabilities, and also, if you read the thing, is like super sorry about the death it caused.
Understood. We'll keep an eye out on things, and should anything weird occur, we'll let you know when you return.
Now I'm gonna go take a shower
Okay.
as fast as I can.
So yeah. So that time elapses. Beats, you're in the warehouse as everybody is kind of beginning in the warehouse, the cargo bay, as everybody is beginning to kind of make their way into. Yeah.
Are the automatons still acting normal?
As far as you can tell, they're doing what you told them to do.
I think before I leave, I would run like another diagnostics on them, like a systems check, before I know that I'm leaving the cargo bay.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your data. A data roll.
Ooh, that's a 9.
So you're going through, and the diagnostics look normal to you. Everything in the software looks like it's normal. You don't see anything out of the ordinary, and they're all doing exactly what you function.
I miss their like vicious little smirk as I'm. Oh, it looks normal.
One of them's like got a knife behind your back, and then when you turn around, it's cutting carrots.
Yep, should have airlocked them when I had the chance. But
Okay, so everybody reaches the cargo bay.
Guys, I talked to it.
Talk to what?
The thing, the lightning thing.
You talk to the lightning. Are you riding the lightning?
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
The satellite lightning? What did it say?
I send my little message image over.
Okay, so you're fully aware of the entire conversation you had with it. Right?
at this time, Beats actually replies to her email. Automatons had weird faces, and I send it back to her.
I receive it,
Well,
look
you're right next
down
to her.
at my Omni tool, look up at Beats like, really? I mean, I guess
Really,
it's good to have it in writing, but I am right here.
Ah, man, imagine that's like an IT ticket. Someone's like, "Oh, I have a problem. Like, the person's right here. Let me just make a ticket real quick before they can walk away."
Please tell me you ask Beats if it has turned them off and then turn them back on again.
Okay, sometimes you have to open the back and take out the battery and then put it back in.
Got Baron.
Yeah, blow on the
Yeah,
cartridge.
blow on the cartridge.
Can you do air?
You have fans.
Probably not.
You have
Yeah.
fans in your mouth.
Maybe if he has like. Okay, well, listen. He might have like a sort of like, you know, those air can cleaning tool things.
There you go.
Like
Like
he
super
might
powerful.
need that. Yeah. Or if he has hydraulics, he might have something that can release air pressure.
Every
The
breath
air
is a
cans are like
sneeze.
it's like my mouthwash.
Yeah.
The dust comes out.
So yeah, you're all standing in the cargo bay, and you're currently in orbit of the planet.
I'll tell the group basically what was going down. We ended up taking orbit over the spaceport. We don't really know anything about these people. I hailed them before and said we have to get some parts. We don't. We do have some titanium that we can trade if we want. But before we bring the whole ship down, we're going to at least just like send a forward crew out just to see. So for today's mission, we're all we're the forward team looking to see if we can strike a deal to sell our titanium. That's our story. And does anyone know how much we have? We can sell half of it. I don't know how
45
much
tons.
45 tons. So we can sell 22.5 tons of titanium if we, and that's our cover. But what we're really trying to figure out is where the hell we are and how we get back home.
Well, we know where we are.
We do know where we are.
We know
We're the
how to get
Poseidon
back
cluster.
home. We just need to
We don't
figure
know-
out the
we don't know
best
how to
way
get
to
back
get back home.
We need map. We need map for home.
We know where home would have been if we were in the current
We know where
day.
home was?
You know where home will
We know
be.
where home
Will be.
if we know where home will be 10,000 years from now.
Banneker phone home. Banneker phone home.
Hello. I keep an eye out for a bicycle with a front basket.
That's actually what the chariots are. They're just bicycles.
Yeah,
with
that's what
baskets.
chariots are. Yeah.
They're pedal powered.
Okay, everybody, pedal on.
We got like big tandem bicycles. Just
Adriadne's
long.
just like not pedaling. This is like the
Yep.
feet are just. All right.
I
So we're
ride in
gonna
the
get
basket.
We're gonna Flintstone this thing down to the
Yeah.
station.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
anyone need to before we leave? Anyone want to get anything from the warehouse or from the cargo bay?
Toy store.
Or anything that we picked up from the last planet that we want to check out?
All good.
I'm okay.
As you're going down here, you do know that this is a populated trade hub area. So if you have anything that requires investigating, there are people here you'll be able to talk to, and you can assume shops and that. So
shopping episode. Great.
Well, okay. I need some more vent tape, but
You can always use vent tape.
exactly.
So you hop into the chariot, and Quinn, I need you to roll your piloting.
I'll be helping him.
Let's say, like as we're beginning our flight, Beats will play. I believe I can fly, and give him a inspiration die.
Okay, you have advantage plus your inspiration.
Is that D4 or D6?
D6.
D6. Here we go. Ooh, you guys.
I don't like that.
I rolled a 1 and a 2,
Why?
but I got a 6 on my inspiration die, so it's a total of 12.
Okay.
That was so bad. That inspiration die was so clutch. Literally 1 and 2.
R. Kelly somehow wasn't
And Quinn's sitting there going, I can fly, and then just like drops out of the ship. Ah!
So
anyways, guys,
actually,
I'm the pilot of the whole ship, and we get sucked out of the.
Beats hits the unlatch button before the doors open.
Air drumming.
And Quinn, you're just talking about, you're now the pilot of the entire ship. You're the
Oh,
pilot. And it just drops out of the banneker. And you're like, oh my god, oh shit. And you grab the wheel. As you enter the atmosphere, you struggle and you fight, and it's just a rocky entrance. But you're able to gain control before crash landing into H5, which is where they told you to land to begin with. And you bring the chariot to a rough
There's
landing.
no way people aren't watching you right now.
And it's the sweet, sweet sound of R. Kelly's Space Jam song that helps us land this thing, because that's what the 6 came from. So it's the Monstars.
And Beats has attached his speakers to the outside PA system of the chariot. So as you're descending, I believe I can fly.
Nose diving.
Like, so good thing somebody believes.
It's like
in my
Parkinson's.
I think about
This
it
is
every
sad.
night and day. Ah! Screaming.
And you throw those thrusters on, those reverse thrusters, and you barely make it a non-crash landing as the
The
chariot.
the flaps engage.
There's these parachutes that poof, pop out, and you're like, I forgot what buttons to push.
He's just slamming on the
It's like one of those arcade.
break.
You just put your hand on it. Just... It's so
But you
bad.
do make it safely, although not gracefully, but safely onto H5.
God.
And as the ship kind of powers down, the chariot powers down, you see a bunch of large, they're kind of like Egyptian Siamese cats with the large sideways ears. They kind of look like Yoda ears, but they look like gnomes with hobbit-type feet. They're hairy little feet, and they have blue skin. And they kind of run out, and there's like 5 of them that kind of start tinkering on the ship as the door kind of crash opens onto the ground. And you hear them muttering in a language you don't understand. Adriadne, you kind of pick up, it does seem like it might be derivative of or like a early dialect of Gnomish. There's like little bits of it that you can pick up, like the difference between Spanish and Portuguese, where you can kind of understand bits and pieces.
Or like if you know one romantic language, you can kind of understand all of them a little bit. Yeah.
So you're able to kind of pick up, and what they're talking about is connect the hose over there. No, it goes over there. This ship is not. They seem a bit confused on the ship, like where they connect the fuel lines and like how they're supposed to be preparing the ship for maintenance.
I will attempt to assist them as to where they like attach stuff and be like, oh no, actually the fuel thing is over here. And
So
yeah.
I need you,
not-
if you're going to do that, I need you to roll a charisma check.
Oh boy.
The DC on this is 18.
Did we have inflatable stairs?
Gross. But I'm a
Inflate off
gnome.
I'll tell you why here in a minute.
That's fine.
Does the crash landing help her at all?
Guys, it's so bad.
Is it a 1?
Not quite. A charisma check, you say?
Yes.
That's a strong 10.
Okay. So they all stop what they're doing as you're trying to kind of communicate with them, and they stare at you for a second before you start hearing them like curse and mutter and kind of like ignore you. And they're like trying to jam the fuel line in like the toilet relief line where like
Oh no!
so they're just like
guy-
they're just
guys,
ignoring you, and they're like and they're,
Sugar's full.
we
I'm
don't.
literally gonna get out
We're
Clark.
good.
one of my wrenches and like slap one of their hands. Stop it!
as you do that, there is an individual wearing a long brown, what looks like woven wool, kind of looks medieval clothing, like this one piece of like wool, and it stands about 8 foot tall, and it's got this half elephant little. It's a little trunk. It's only about like 6 inches long from its nose. And it also has large elephant-looking like ears and very wrinkly forehead as its gray skin and large, no pupil, just large black eyes. And it doesn't look like it's walking. It kind of looks like it's floating underneath this robe-like thing. And it kind of wobbles out. And in a dialect Hades that you can kind of make out, it sounds like drow, like undercommon. Good evening and welcome to Hestia. I have been brought here with the honor of welcoming you to Hestia. Is there something I can do to prepare your ship for departure?
We just wanted to unload some goods for trade. We don't need any fuel, so you can tell your men to.
And they
Also, they're trying to put the fuel in the toilet.
they drop the hoses and kind of
Again.
retreat from action. Very well. Will you be staying with us, or will you be leaving this evening?
Leaving.
Very good, sir.
We don't know that for sure, though.
It is
Oh no, we are.
it is 15 shells to park here.
Yeah.
Shells. Well,
Yes.
we don't actually know what's going on. I'm just looking at Hades.
Yeah.
Sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Do I know history? Do I know what shells would be?
You can assume that shells are a type of currency. You do not currently have any shells on you. You have your credits.
Not with that attitude.
It's okay, just be like, yo, we're not from here. What's shells?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not from this system. Is there any other form of payment that you use? Do you use credits?
I shall make you this deal, Lord Hades. Please, stay free of charge if you just bless my daughter.
Sure.
This is gonna go so bad. I just can't wait. I can't wait for this.
Oh,
Hades
she
is
will
gonna
be
get married on
thrilled
accident.
to
Hades is gonna,
understand.
he's gonna get married.
She will be thrilled. Thank you, Lord Hades. And he kind of retreats backwards.
Question.
This is gonna go so bad.
Yes.
By bless, what do you mean?
She has illness and is on her last breath, as it were. If you were to bless her, she would survive this current pain.
Of course.
So we should bring. Okay.
Takes out the hand cannon. Jeez.
I got a blessing for you.
Could solve this real quick.
Euthanasia.
Euthanasia.
Your compassion and empathy is well appreciated, Lord Hades.
That's
and
what he's
you
known
may
for.
stay here
Yep.
as long as
Lord
necessary
Hades.
on me.
Of course. Thank you.
Hades, what's he saying?
I turn around, speaking to Common to my friends, is like, he wants me to bless his daughter.
Say you'll do it.
I've already agreed.
That's right.
So
Nice.
by blessed, do you mean like
No, heal. His daughter is ill.
so lead the way?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you know how to heal anyone. So
No, yeah, we'll just.
Oh no,
Man hands.
I actually do, but
Oh,
I just don't brag about it. I'm sorry.
Lays hands on his daughter. That's great.
yep.
It's gonna go so well.
Please follow me.
Of course.
And he turns around and again he looks like he's floating. He doesn't look like there's any movement underneath the kind of floating
And I've
along.
never seen this race before.
It's not something you're familiar with
Okay.
unless you'd like to roll a history check.
It's like I wonder if he's speaking undercommon. I feel like my mom would have told me about maybe. this
Look out for
guy.
the elephant people, Hades.
Mhm.
Don't forget anything.
Yeah.
If you remember anything I ever tell you.
I got a 17.
the notes you put in your lunchbox and she's into a school.
Never forget.
Okay.
These are the most dangerous people.
So you do actually recall a story that you heard from your mother that there were a long time ago there were a race of Elzeal
Ezeel.
that fits this description.
Zootite.
Thank you. Guten Tag.
They were scattered. There was no home planet of this race. They were transient merchants, not transient. Nomadic merchants.
Ah.
So there wasn't like a central location that these things had. They were common among the entire galaxy as nomadic merchants.
Right. Okay. So there's no trade federation, but
Oh God! Stop thinking. Good evening.
But yeah, I follow behind. I'm assuming my
Okay.
companions.
As you leave this little spaceport H5, the door kind of slides open, so you can immediately recognize that this technology is better than the retro tech that you've seen so far. This is common. The door slides open. It's like an automatic door, and it just...
Thank
These doors are
goodness.
okay.
Yeah.
We're in a safe place.
And it leads you into this this hallway that is
Mistake.
very circular. It's like a circular sci-fi hallway, and it kind of leads into this very globular, globular room with doors all around it. And you can, Adriadne, Elias, I believe Hades, and I believe you can all. Does anybody not speak Elvish?
Let me check.
Fairly certain that that's a common language.
I don't speak it.
No, I
No.
don't speak common.
Okay.
I don't. I only have common and gnomish.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
So
My proficiency. Sorry.
I speak celestial.
I have deep speech.
That's no good here.
Hades, you do
think
speak Elvish, right?
I speak Elvish.
I would hope so. Common's
Elvish
my second
Elvish, yes.
and Dwarvish. Common and Elvish, just Elvish. Sorry.
Okay. So, Quinn and Hades, you can read this. The rest of you can recognize that this is Elvish, but you can't make out what they say. Each door is labeled different sections. So your raw materials, processed materials, starship fuels, weapons, armor, and there seems to be like these divisions into different sections. The person kind of floats over to this door that says residential quarters, and the door slides open, and he follows this long cylindrical hallway into this. Finally, he kind of like gets to a dead end where this door slides open, and it opens up into this open atmosphere like town, and you can hear the chattering and the talking and the mumbling of all these different. You can pick out if you know a language, you can hear that language being spoken. Okay, along with other languages that you don't recognize. It's just this amalgamation of all these different languages and conversations happening, and you're met with dozens, if not almost hundreds of people who are in this little town that are kind of walking back, and there's all these different races. Hades, you don't notice any drow, but you see lots of elves, dwarves, some of the races that your mom has kind of told you about, you kind of recognize and pick out. There are some avian Ra that are walking around that you kind of pick up, Elias. Quinn, you don't see any, like, that's human, but you see a lot of humanoids. Humans with different, like, colored skins, like really dark skin colors. And really,
near humans.
Yeah, green skin colors, and they're very near human. They have human ears, not elf ears. They're the same dimensions as a human. So they're very similar to humans. There are automatons everywhere. You can see automatons doing functions, but also like having their own like conversations, actions, and don't seem to be just automatons doing work. They seem to be automatons standing there having conversations, trying to do business, talking to each other. Adriadne, there are gnomes running around. And you
she actually looks nervous.
Yeah, there are gnomes running around. There are elves, dwarves. You see a couple dwarves that are arguing loudly in the corner.
Of course.
Trying to negotiate specifics of a deal.
If she sees a fellow gnome, she tries to move away from them and like hide in between like in your guys' like legs.
Oh, okay. That's my butt cheek.
Got something going on there, eh? You got somebody looking at you the wrong way? Do you want me to take care of them?
Oh no, no, nope, no, no.
You sure?
Mm-hmm,
I brought the big I brought the big gun.
None of the gnomes actually see you, so they don't really notice you. And as this person leads through this residential area and you hear all these conversations happening, they're just casual conversations, people having everyday conversations. And he leads you to this, it's almost like a marble house that's carved. It's very Greek inspired. There's pillars in front of it that are carved. They're column pillars. And it almost kind of looks very ornate with carvings of this particular elephant looking race all over the sides of this building, and it's got statues in the front that are carved out of this stone. It's a very nice looking, elegant Greek inspired architecture house. And the door opens.
At home.
Nice, cool house, man.
Yeah.
And as the door opens, he kind of leads you in, and you see the person begin to kind of remove their robe off of there's like this like button down thing that's not really buttons, but this like magnetic buttons that kind of like pulls off. And there's this little gnome sized elephant man person in this little hovercraft that's sitting there. It's like a saucer that's like hovering, and he's just kind of sitting in it, and he's manipulating the controls with his hands. And he kind of
anything anymore.
Spins around, and he's like, "Welcome to my home. My daughter is over here." Pardon me, I can't do that voice apparently.
It's the elephant.
Have some more wine and you can do anything.
Just chug it.
Chug.
So he leads you through the main part of this house and to this room that's divided by nothing but a curtain. He kind of pulls the curtain back. It's a nice curtain. It's not like a crappy robe, right? He pulls this curtain back, and there is another one of these small elephant individuals laying in a bed, and you can kind of hear this. It sounds like she's having trouble breathing. Appendage. She's laying in bed. She says, "Lord Hades, please, you would bless my daughter and save her from your..."
Oh my god, does this guy think I'm like the Lord Hades? Can I insight?
Roll an
You
insight.
don't know what's happening. Yeah,
I
I'm
was
just like,
oh wait. Does he think I'm like the Lord Hades? Like I know I'm like Hades knows he's named after like a Greek god, but 17.
You get the feeling that he is emphatically believing that you are going to be able to heal his daughter.
Okay. Can I do a scan of her?
Go for it. Roll a medical check.
Okay. Just like even with the scanner, I gotta roll a medical. Okay.
Just to give me an idea of what kind of information you're gonna glean.
Okay.
Scanner.
Just a 19. Like I don't have any pluses, so it's
Okay.
just 19.
So you kind of
just a 19.
Yeah.
Pilot rolling 1 and 2, but I'm just getting
Whatever.
19s. Beep, 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 beep. Looks like something I can't solve. Oh,
You know,
nope,
it's just a
kidding, already
19.
healed.
It's fine.
Put a band-aid on the nose and the sinuses go away.
Yeah, one of those little like snoring.
Breathe right.
Yeah,
strip.
Yeah, breathe right strip. Yeah.
exactly.
All right, just hold
These
one
are
dose.
from the future.
So your scanner does pick up something. This is something that's in the database. This is something that's been all but eradicated in your time. Okay, It's a respiratory illness isolated to this particular race. It infects the sinuses and causes them trouble breathing. There is inoculation and cure against this disease in your time. However, you don't have those on you. The RSV Banneker's med bay may have like a actual inoculation against this, like in a package, like vaccine.
Can we do that though? Like, is
Why
that
not?
some sort of like weird prime directive stuff? Do
I
we have a
just
prime
typed out to
directive?
you guys. I just said that. We're gonna mess with the future, man. The problem is we don't actually understand what's going on. There's just two guys going hoobala 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 to each other, and we're like, "What's the elephant saying to the drow? What's going on?" Like,
What?
So you get the diagnosis. You know what this disease is. It's a respiratory illness that affects this race, and it is a terminal illness without the inoculation.
So there's like that's the only way.
You could make her comfortable. You know how to do that. You could like clear the sinus and make her comfortable so that she can sleep and relax. But without the inoculation, she's not going.
We can charlatan this. We can make it look like you've done magic, but we just give her the inoculation.
follow my hand. Ooh,
Ooh.
bam.
Joe, just
Yes.
curious, with something like this, would that be something that I can fix with like a cure wounds? Or would I need like a cleanse disease spell? Or cleanse
If you're
poison spell?
using the magical cure wounds and lay on, I think it would be more of a
Lesser restoration.
lesser restoration,
Or restoration
Okay.
type spell.
because these aren't wounds that you conditions.
Gotcha.
Viruses.
Okay. I was just curious.
So
I don't have anything like
I was about to ask the same thing. Like,
Yes,
I think
if
you
you
do know
go
that
5
restoration would work. Lesser restoration, greater restoration, those would work. Lay on hands will make them feel better. Cure wounds will make them feel better, but it will not cure the underlying problem.
I think if you use 5, that counts as a cleanse.
Yeah, lay on hands. If you use 5 points, it'll cure any disease.
it says right here either 5 HP, cure a disease, or neutralize a poison affecting a creature.
That would work.
All right. I look her over. I was like, and I kneel down, and I kind of, rub her head.
All the wrinkles.
Quinn's just in the back, like, what in the heck is going
I
on?
like to imagine
know
these
if
things
you
are like a little weird Boston Terrier pug mix with like nose.
I love them.
I'm
100%.
I'm imagining that freaking the nose race that had Anakin slaved.
Oh,
Oh,
Just out the wings.
Little Annie, you came back.
What was that?
your paladin tricks don't work on me.
Watto. That was his name.
Watto.
Why don't you say we leave it up to chance?
Oh, God.
But yeah, so he places his hand, and for the first time, you guys see like his eyes kind of go pure black, and then it looks like the cosmos. And like he inhales and exhales, and then and it looks like this stardust just encapsulates his hand and like wraps around like her nasal, and then like where the actual disease would be, and like he tenses his hand as if grabbing something, and then pulls back, and like these the light stars get filled and turn black as if they are being filled with something, and he holds them all in the hand and collect into like one orb, and he just crushes it, and for a few seconds it looks like a sun, and
That's the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life.
and
I
What
would
in
like
the
to
hell
roll on a
is
religion check when
happening?
we get a minute.
Okay. As
and
Another
guys
sun.
Is Hades part space?
and his eyes go back to being normal.
and
it's
as you do that, she kind of like reacts as you're pulling that out and flaps back into breathing normal.
I believe that should solve the problem.
Bless you, Lord. Bless you and thank you, many thanks.
Of course.
You are truly him, then. You have come to free us from the tyrannical reign of Hecate.
Come again.
Nailed it.
Still don't know what they're saying, but that was
Nope.
really cool, you guys.
Yeah, all you guys to see like Hades go from, that calm
Mhm.
kind of monk, like, oh yes, I have done my job. What?
Angry?
Kind of cocks his head like,
He kind of looks around. Do your friends not understand this? Should I speak in common?
Oh God, please,
yes,
please.
good. That would be great.
No entiendo.
He begins speaking in common and looks to the group. Please let my daughter rest and come out here. I will explain everything. Kind of bows as he's kind of like trying to usher you out of her bedroom and into the common room. And
I leaned to Quinn. I'm like, I think I fucked up.
I'm looking at him and be like, hey, dude, it kind of looks like you did, to be honest with you.
I'm not sure he fucked up, like, in the worst way.
Don't worry. We'll take care of it. We can handle it.
He said something about, but yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. As you're processing into the common room, Hades or Elias, you had something you wanted to say?
I just want to know if I could tell what religion that was, or what effect that he was doing.
What effect Hades was doing?
If I had recognized what he had done to her.
Well, you
like
would
what
recognize
religion or what effect.
You also have lay on hands, right?
No.
No. Lay on hands is for paladins.
Paladin thing, baby.
Okay. But you would be familiar with that as you would be paladins. That would be a thing, right? So this is
but like I'm the son above domain.
This is a common lay on hands is a common thing, but the way he did it was extraordinary.
That's not familiar to me in any way.
Right. So the effect is familiar. You recognize the lay on hands, but the way it was pulled off is extraordinary. Never seen it, never heard about it. It's just you're in awe of that, of the way it was pulled. So you get into the common room. He kind of sits everyone down and he's, welcome to Triana. I appreciate your presence in my home, Lord Hades. And you can all hear this because he's now speaking common. I need everyone in this room to make a perception check as he's speaking.
I'm so done with this die.
Ooh, dirty 20.
17. Yeah, I'm just getting 17.
Dirty 19.
Nice.
4.
Okay, so Adriadne, you do not notice this, but everybody else seems to
I'm too busy still staring at Hades like...
Hades, what did you roll?
I got a 17.
Okay, yeah, so everybody but Adriadne recognizes in the far corner of this common room, there is what looks like a little shrine. Okay, this is a very Greek-inspired shrine. There are several gods that are kind of carved out of, and you can recognize these as Greek mythology. If you're from Seoul and you had a history class in the Galactic Academy, you would recognize Greek mythology, right?
I fell asleep during that class.
Okay, then you wouldn't recognize this. But these are very common features in Greek mythology. There are images of Zeus, of...
Poseidon.
Yeah, Poseidon. Thank you. Like, everything just like... right when I was about to name
Ares,
and...
Hephaestus.
So there's several of them, and there is a little figurine that looks like a drow.
Are each of the individuals different races?
They are. They look. Most of them look humanoid, except for the drow figurine. Some of them have other features, like the Athena has a very cat-like, feminine, almost tabaxi kind of features.
Oh, that's cool as heck.
Human, humanoid, but you can tell there's like little cat ears. There's a tail coming off of Athena, and it you can recognize them as the Greek gods, but they have these different features. But the one is definitely Drow with dreadlock.
So that's like our personal boy.
Concern.
From a distance, it would look. But you see this as this person is talking. Lord Hades, thank you for your presence. It is foretold that the Lord Hades would come and free us from the tyranny of Hecate.
Right. I'm not familiar with this prophecy. I'm going to be honest with you. Can you give me some more details on who this Hectic is?
Hecate.
Hecate.
Hecate is the leader of Triana.
Right.
This planet is ruled by theocracy, and Fiana, or Hecate, is the top position here. Hecate is our deity. She consumes the life force to remain on this mortal realm of 5 to 10 individuals once a year.
That's not cool.
Oh, they are all willing sacrifice.
Does he air quote?
He does.
It's like, oh. Okay.
Recently, my daughter was chosen as a sacrifice. I risked the disease to save her from this, but I did not know that it would be as lethal as it turned out. Thank you for saving her from her fate, Lord.
Of course.
My doing, and I feel horrible. I shall atone by dedicating my life and services to you, Lord Hades.
Oh shit, Hades.
I feel so uncomfortable. Like, I'm not saying this out loud, but like uncomfortable.
And you do mean that in character?
No. I'm not saying that out loud.
No, I mean you mean that in character, not as a player, right?
You feel uncomfortable.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry,
I'm just making sure.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Like,
Okay.
Hades is like, oh no.
Ronald has always wanted a pet elephant.
Yeah.
Hades, on the other hand,
I've seen Umbok 2 like so many times. But no, yeah, he's trying to take all this in, but Hecata, how did this all start?
Hecate has ruled over Triana for decades, if not centuries. She came here and organized the trade hub and made it as successful as it is now, so no one really questioned. But as a deity, she requires the life force to remain on the mortal realm. The planet worships Hecate, almost on a fanatical level. And while some of us do not worship her, most of the sacrifices are willing.
Okay.
It is preceded by a week-long festival which you have conveniently
Sure, convenience the right word.
in the middle of.
it's a good thing we didn't land the whole ship. We had a whole bunch of human sacrifices up in orbit.
I was like, update
But yes,
everyone.
My
No one has
daughter
to
was
say.
selected to be one of the honorary 5 to 10 people this year. And to save her from this silly tradition, I infected her so that she would not be a healthy sacrifice. Unfortunately, I did not see this as a lethal infection as it was.
Yes. The
Thank you for saving her, Lord.
of course, always willing to help those in need. But I will have to speak with some other individuals before just uprooting a leader of a planet.
Of course, Lord. As you wish. I am but a humble servant. Consider my home your home, and your friends are welcome to stay here whenever they need to. My house, your house, or as the Latins once said, mi casa es su casa.
That was coming.
God damn it, Joe.
I'm gonna roll a history check and see if that's right.
Yeah.
Kidding. I don't speak Latin. I'm not proficient in it.
All right. Right. Look after your daughter. I will discuss with my comrades here.
Of course, as you wish, Lord. And he excuses himself and walks into his daughter's bedroom. And I did not realize how late it was, so this is where we're going to end this episode. As you are in the home, Elephant Man has cured his daughter of an ailment, learned about what's going on here. Triana, temple on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to fuck up your promotion in 10, 9,
No, you just jumped.
No, you got an
I
even
was
better
gonna say, you just
promotion.
jumped, man.
Yeah.
You went from like
You're above the
cap.
captain now.
To deity.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's like Achilles to God of the underworld.
Like, I was gonna make a joke earlier about like, I'm in charge of security. Next, the captain's chair. But I'm already I'm a god now.
Next to spaceport.
Literal god.
When someone asks if you're a god, you
You
say,
say yes.
Especially when you got those cleric powers.
Mm-hmm.
So join us next week as we continue the story of our amazing adventurers in Sunrunners, our Dark Matter 5e, which just recently got another update to 1.4. So if you're interested in this Dark Matter setting, definitely check them out by Mage Hand Press. You can just Google Dark Matter 5e, and it'll be find. Coming out with a awesome starter kit thanks to their Kickstarter program that just wrapped up. I believe you can still get in on that last minute as a backer.
Yeah, I think
it's still up.
Yeah, there's a backer link that
Yeah.
you can go to and like you can buy stuff.
So if you're having fun with this setting, listening to us and this nonsense, definitely check out Mage Hand Press and their Dark Matter setting. It's an amazing sci-fi setting for D5Es. Check that out. And then be sure to check out demiplane.com if you are looking for players or GMs to start your own campaign, because it is an amazing system that links you up via your preferences with other people who are also looking. It's an amazing system. We currently use it for this game because not only does it link you up with other players and GMs, it has amazing tools that you can use during the game to keep track of your journals, rate your cohorts in the game, and there's just all kinds of awesome add-ons and features to Demiplane that are coming out constantly. So check out demiplane.com for that. Be sure to follow the Nerd Asylum. Check out thenerdasylum.com for all our awesome content that's coming up soon. We have all kinds of YouTube miniseries coming up, a Drow Life podcast that's coming soon, and all kinds of awesome projects, including, this is long-term, an animated project. But I'm committing to it as I'm announcing it here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We have an animated project. Going to be an animated series set in Autumnford, our homebrew world, which will also be getting stuff released. If you're interested in any of that nerdy stuff, check out thenerdasylum.com, check out demiplane.com, and check out Press. For anybody else have anything they want to say before we wrap up tonight?
Not right now.
All right.
I apologize for my notes. They're so raw.
That's all right.
I love your notes as I read them before every game. So
Yeah, they're so raw. Anyways. All right.
Have
Oh
a
my God.
fantastic evening.
Thanks,
We'll
everybody.
see you next week. Goodbye.
Bruh.